right. So, good news is we're done ramming. Finally. So that was like, give or take 6 months of ramming
Yeah.
with all of the bits and bobs and pieces and interruptions and starting and stopping.
And equipment.
Equipment, yeah. But winter is literally coming this coming week. We're going to be hitting minus 32 Celsius, which is like, I don't know, 40 below Fahrenheit?
Yeah.
50?
Us, like much of North America right now, has had a really mild winter up until now. We're towards the end of the first week of January right now. It's like the 9th of January or 8th or 7th.
Mm-hmm.
It's around there somewhere. But we've had super mild winter, which has been amazing and allowed James to get all of the rammed earth done.
Yes.
So where we set up our shot today was strategic because we wanted you to be able to see what is done.
Yeah.
The corner over here is still tarped, so you poured and did the sill yesterday, and so it has to cure for. You're gonna leave it extra longer for 48 hours instead of 24.
Yeah, well, I gotta do a materials run tomorrow, so I leave it for today and tomorrow with a bit of heat on it and strip it the day after.
Yeah, and then all the walls will be done.
Yeah.
And my only question is, how are we going to get into the greenhouse now?
You can go through the overhead door or the other side. I've been in and out a bunch already.
You're going to have to make me a ramp.
Yeah, well, we're not completely out of the woods because we still want to backfill, and I have to apply damp proofing on the outside and on the inside. So on the inside, we're going to be using a water-based damp proofing. No, not a tar. It's a blue skin product, but I got to investigate a little bit further. We just don't want any leaching from that product into our soils, which is where we're going to be growing our food in. So that's really important to us. But we also want to protect the rammed earth because we're going to be constantly introducing water to the soil inside.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll have really good drainage because the climate battery is going to be mostly made up of sand for the charging of the earth for the climate battery, which you'll see much more about that in future videos.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we're not completely out of the woods. So we have cold weather to deal with for backfill.
And everything else.
Yeah. And I do have one bit of concrete to pour for a center post in the center of the greenhouse.
Yeah.
But I can do a small little area of hoarding for that. And heat, because I ordered a cool new heater. I can't wait to get it. It's here, but it's the weekend and I can't get it.
Oh, post office.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like James said, we've got a big weather change coming up. So we're preparing for that today as well, including the chickens. And we're going to have to plow because we got a huge dump of snow last night. And James wants to clean up, finally, all of the rammed earth, like construction materials that have been just laying around our yard and in his shop area that's behind the camera here. And just get everything cleaned up and organized and ready for the next part of the project. So that's exciting too. Even though everything's covered in snow right now and you can't really see it, still be a good idea to clean it up.
There's a bit of a mess, yeah.
So it'll freeze to the ground if we don't.
Excited to get everything cleaned up and there's a lot of parts and pieces and tools and equipment that we need for the rammed earth, so it'll be nice to
tuck those away,
reclaim our space a little bit.
Yeah. So today we're going to take you through all of those things with us and how we're going to prepare for this minus 30 coming up, and that's about it. What are you doing?
That's about it.
I never know how to wrap these things up. Okay, let's get to work. Clyde's sitting under the camera.
I know, that was really cute.
Good boy, Clyde.
I'm going to plow first. Okay? You want to
Well, after that huge dump of snow we got last night, the chickens are again cooped up in their coop because there's just way too much snow for them to come out to the run. So I want to make sure that the chickens are going to be outside as much as possible because there's going to be a period of time coming up really quickly that they're going to be cooped in the coop for a few days at least on end. So I better get to work. Hey guys, I'm going to clean up so that you can go outside, okay? I know you're bored in here. Just as too many of you. Works like a charm every time. Bye.
So our material piles for our sand and aggregate, we actually ended up with just a hair more than what we needed with the last couple of loads, which is quite fortunate. So we don't have a couple of extra big piles here.
What are we doing? So we're going to take the tarps off. And then what are we doing?
Well, I'm just going to pull the snow here where I'm going to plow. So it
Right.
gets rid of the snow.
But are we leaving the piles here?
Uh,
Or are we going to?
I'm going to clean them up with the skid steer.
Yeah.
Just make them a bit bigger because I'm going to need, well, we can dump the sand inside that we've got once we get some backfill done. And the crush I can use for the concrete.
Okay, perfect. got a dirty, stinky, wet coop. Hey, Taisha. Not my favorite job, but it needs to be done, especially because temperatures are going to be going down quite dramatically starting tomorrow. So the chickens are going to be spending a lot more time in this coop than they would like. So now that everybody's out, I'm going to put this to block the door and clean her up. It's a big one. Still warm. Here you go. This should keep you guys busy while I'm cleaning your coop. This is leftover microgreens. Just the roots of them, because we clip the tops off and we eat those. Hey bunnies, I got you some celery. I wanted the chickens to have the microgreens. Here you go. Cleaning the coop for me isn't the worst job in the world. It doesn't take very long because it's not very big. I just shovel out all the shavings and poop, and there's unfortunately lots of food in there too. I just shovel it out. I usually put it in a wheelbarrow and bring it over to the compost bin that James made me. Do you guys remember when James built me a chicken poop compost bin? Oh, it's okay, honey. It's okay. It's just snow falling. It's completely full. I was a lazy chicken poop composter, and basically all I did was just fill it up. I didn't separate the poop from the shavings, and I didn't mix it, and I didn't add water to it, and I didn't do anything to it. So now I have this huge bin full of what could be amazing compost that I'm going to have to deal with at some point. Anyway, that's full, and I have this Bob's Taxi full now of this new stuff. So the only thing I can think of doing is we have a compost horse manure compost pile left over from when we put the garden to bed this year. So I'm going to go dump it next to that. And then I think I'm going to cover it with a tarp, because chicken poop, turns out, is a dog and probably fox and coyote delicacy. They love it. That's the reason why Bob and Clyde aren't out here right now, is because they eat chicken poop like it is going out of style. You probably saw Jojo this entire time licking the poop off some of the apparatuses that I brought out from the chicken coop. She's fine because she's a big dog. The little dogs, when they eat a lot of it, it's, well, let's just say they're up a number of times in the evening to go to the bathroom. And that's no fun for anybody. So sprinkled some diatomaceous earth on the floor in there because it's quite damp. It's been super humid here. And with all the snow, dampness is not a chicken's friend. As dry as you can get the coop is best. So I sprinkled diatomaceous earth on the wood floor that we have to sort of soak up any more excess moisture. It does an okay job. It did a better job when we had less chickens. Now that we have more, I definitely have to do it more often. And then I have pine shavings. So I'm going to put a fresh layer of Jojo's in the coop. I'm going to put a fresh layer of pine shavings down and in the nesting boxes. And then I'm going to show you my favorite part about cleaning the coop. Well, it ain't pretty, but it's gonna have to do. I covered up the evidence with snow. Not that that's really gonna do anything. I'm still gonna go and grab a tarp and cover it up. And then you can't see it because they're covered in snow, but those two piles there is the horse manure that we got for the garden. So basically this is just a big pile of compost manure that is gonna have to be dealt with in the spring. But until then, the snow covers up a lot of things and looks beautiful, and I'm not going to think about it until it melts and I see it, and James is like, what the heck is all that? time to come check out your new coop. And now it's time for my favorite part of cleaning. So my favorite part about cleaning the coop is watching the bunnies. The chickens come in and checking it out. They are always so enthralled with something new, like I always say. Yeah, they just come in and look around like they've never been here before, and everything's new and exciting. And these piles, they'll make quick work of that, spreading it all over the floor. And yeah, I just love watching them come in. They're so funny.